Hi Aries, welcome to Tarot Readings by Roxby. I am going to do your weekly general and love reading for the week of March 13th to the 19th. My new subscribers, welcome, and thank you guys so much for taking the time to subscribe to the channel. So for my new subscribers, if the reading doesn't resonate with you, you could definitely look at your moon, your rising, your Venus sign, and also there's no gender. To whoever it is for you. Private readings, that stuff does matter, but not in the general readings. Those of you that would like a private reading with me, all of my contact info is always below the videos. Maybe 7 to 10 days. Okay. So, when I look at these cards, I get the feeling like somebody is working their ass off. And while you're working your ass off, somebody else is just being carefree and having fun. When I look at all four of these cards. But this is the overall energy card for you guys for the week, which is the Fool. It is, new beginnings. It's, having that faith as well. It says at the bottom, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. Just maybe definitely new beginnings for a lot of you. With the Six of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, it says at the bottom, if I didn't mention, I am using Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine's Angel Tarot. Gifts of money, time or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, paying off debts. So the Six of Pentacles, I do love this card. It is a card of having, it is a card of having enough to help other people. But I feel like some of you are just really, it is a card of prosperity. It's, inheritance. Definitely new opportunities are coming for a lot of you. Because when I look at this card with the Ten of Wands sitting right next to it, I just get the sense that, definitely, struggling to make ends meet, you're having hard times. While somebody else is just, being free, having fun, and you're doing all the work. But I do feel like that's what's going to bring you the rewards. Is because you're the one who's doing all the work. You're putting in all the time and the effort. And with the Eight of Cups being there, it's like, I really just get the sense that some of you just want to get up and just like walk away from whatever this is that you're working so hard on. A desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. I just get the sense that, you're working too hard, really killing yourself. which, that is coming to a completion. 10s are an end of a cycle, things coming to an end, new beginnings, definitely. If you are working like that, that is coming to an end. There's definitely financial rewards coming to you because of all this work. But on an emotional level, for some of you, you really just feel like saying, I feel like, the heck with it. Like, you guys just feel like, like, the heck with it. I'm, like, done with this. You want to start something new for others of you. All right, I'm sure we're going to come back to that. Let's see what the other cards say. Okay. Messages from the fairies. All of the cards are by Doreen Virtue, except for Whispers of Love for your love and relationships. Okay, with this card, I do reference it to the Nine of Swords, okay? You've been feeling, definitely maybe scared. There's some sort of big situation that's probably on your plate right now. You're tense, you're worried, you're feeling negative. Listen, but even though you're worried, you're scared, maybe you're worried about leaving this, be walking away from this, whatever this is. It could be a job, could be a relationship. I mean, it is whatever it is for you. But, instead of mentally, struggling with this, constantly, working on the issue, literally just mentally see yourself giving the problem to heaven. Just, like, let it go, release it, just like a helium balloon, let it go straight to heaven. You could be moving on to seeking more rewards, moving toward more balance even. All right, for some of you, this is definitely relationship related. Emotional healing. Your heart heals of old emotional pain. You receive new blessings and love. Messages from the fairies. With this card, it does signify that you're definitely healing old emotional pain. And that very first thing that comes to your mind is exactly the issue. Exactly what you're worried about. Whatever it is that you're trying to resolve. You're definitely worried about it. You're scared. Maybe even losing faith. But you're definitely rising above whatever it is. With the Eight of Cups, you could just be emotionally thinking about leaving a relationship, a job, moving on to something greater. It could just be emotional, but you haven't actually physically left the situation yet, but you're thinking about it, I think, for a lot of you. But the first thing you need to do is let go of the guilt, let go of anger, emotional, all your emotional wounds. Just, this is the week of letting it all go. You really are just letting it go and being done with it. I really do feel like that for the majority of you. You want fresh, you want new. And I still get the sense, too, that, if it is a relationship, you're working extremely hard on the relationship. You're doing what you can to bring back the balance, to bring back the stability. But somebody else is just carefree, doing what they want, having fun, maybe even. Loving words from Jesus. All things whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive. Matthew 21:22. Beautiful verse. Those of you that want to pick up the Bible and read that verse this week, beautiful. Dolphins and the mermaids. Explore your options. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. So you are looking at other possibilities, other potential possibilities. You're definitely exploring, trying to balance things out, definitely. Sometimes we just get in that mindset that this is the way it is. We don't see any other options. But with this card, heaven does ask you to question any situation that you think can't be changed. Whatever this is that's worrying you, that's weighing you down, even, it's a burden, you're struggling with it. It's definitely, with this card, it definitely asks you to explore more options. It could be absolutely what this, new leap of faith is. You're testing the waters with this card. You're not sure yet, but you're testing. Whatever these possibilities are that you're trying to explore, it's important to definitely turn the possibilities into realities. And if you're that worried about it, about whatever this is for you, and you're that worried about it, break it down into small goals, small steps. It's those little things that you could accomplish today, little things that you could accomplish the next day. And when you explore new opportunities, the energy of the universe does begin following you in the direction of your dreams. Any steps that you take, no matter how big, no matter how small, you will see options that you may have never even noticed before. Definitely towards the middle of the week. I do feel like you guys are bringing whatever this is to completion, whether it is a relationship, or a job situation. You're tired of it and you're bringing it to completion. You want to take some sort of risk, but you're worried for sure. But you will. Not this week, maybe the beginning of next week. These two cards, clearly scream that you're struggling. You're definitely struggling. You're having a hard time. But it's an emotional time. But things will balance out. I think most of you probably have some sort of decision to make between the two. The Ace of Swords is under there. So it could, I definitely feel like there's new beginnings for you. Yes, challenging, I think, but you will get there. Okay, Whispers of Love, Angela Hartfield. Wow, wow. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take a break. That's that's clear as day. You guys need R&R. Serious R&R. And with this card too, when we do our best, when we balance all of the aspects of our life, love yourself first, and then the people, in your life. What do I want to say? You're trying to create an environment that allows everyone the opportunity to take care of their needs. But you need to rest, because when you're rested, you're at your best. And you're able to appreciate, everything that life has to offer. The options. I feel like maybe some of you could be missing it, missing something, missing an opportunity. Aries, I just feel like a lot of you are overworked, you're burdened, you're worried, you're emotional. But there's new beginnings for you guys. Things are going to turn around, definitely, without a doubt. Okay, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. I did see the Knight of Cups there. So maybe for some of you, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer could be important this week. Children. Your love life is being affected by children. Those of you that are married, absolutely. I mean, your love lives could definitely be affected by children. But a lot of the times when I see this card, I always want to say that some of you could be involved with someone who is married and has children. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Okay, Aries. So, this card just says it all in a nutshell. It really does. Throughout the whole reading, I just get that from the very beginning. You're exhausted. You're exhausted. And you just need a break. Probably need a vacation. Probably haven't had one in a long time. I feel like you guys definitely need something that's going to recharge you and recharge your batteries this week. But towards the middle of the week, I do think that things are going to start turning around for you guys. Yeah, I think, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you are just working really hard. You're emotionally exhausted. But things are going to start to turn around, Aries, and new beginnings. I mean, really. Listen, if it's not you, always in my readings, it could be the other person, somebody else you're thinking about, but, there's definitely new beginnings on the horizon. And for a small, maybe one or two of you, maybe a lot more, you're doing all the work and somebody else is just being carefree, living in the moment, just the type of person that doesn't really worry too much. Just take it as it comes, and they're just really carefree about it. But there's definitely healing for you guys this week, Aries. Without a doubt. There's possibilities. There's new opportunities. More towards the end of the week, beginning of next. All right, Aries, I hope this message helps you guys out for the week. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to view the video. Guys, have a blessed week, and I will see you guys back here shortly. Take care. Bye-bye.